Hi everyone, Bravo Outdoors. Just going to do a quick video, tell you what I've been up to and why I've not been on YouTube for a bit. Well, first off, I've been helping out a firm I used to work for, and it went on a bit longer than what I thought, so anyway, that's that. So I'm back now anyway, so you should start seeing some videos from me. Right, when I was at the Bushcraft show 2012, one store really caught my imagination, and it was leathercraft. I think it's fascinated me, so I've finished this job now. So at one of the stalls, there was a store there called the Identity Store, and they specialise in leather work and had all the tools and the leathers. Anyway, the guy there called Peter, superb he was. He went through everything with me, bits of kit. Anyway, I bought a few tools there, but I never really touched it. So anyway, yesterday I thought, right, finish that job now, I'm gonna pop over to the Identity Store. It's in a place called Matlock, which is about an hour's run from where I live. So I thought, make a day of it, take me partner and my daughter, we'll go for a pub lunch, but in the meantime I'll go and get some bits and pieces from Matlock to do some leather work. Right, so what I wanted to show you is I've not finished anything, but I've started something. I thought I'd make not a knife sheath first, thought I'd make a carry for me Laplander saw. So I'll go through that and show you where I'm up to. It's not finished, so I'll take you through the process. See that there, lads? Right, so what I've done, this is 2.4 to 2.8 mil veg tan leather. So made a template on a piece of A4 paper, drew it round the leather, added a little bit extra on so I could cut off. And to get to this stage, what I've done is cut the leather out and then soaked it for about 30 seconds in lukewarm water. Then I've put a centre line on, put the saw in the middle, and then you just wet mould that round. And I just use the back of my tools to form the wet mould, really pushing. So that was the first part. So we got it up nice and moulded right to the contour of the Laplander saw. So once that was contoured in, what I've done then is remove the saw, and with the excess leather I stapled it to a piece of wood. Then put the oven on, get it nice and hot, then turn the oven off. Turn the other oven off, lads, because you end up like this. Now this is one I made earlier and totally cocked up, pardon my language. But what happened is I put the oven on and then I thought, oh, I'll watch the Olympic ceremony. Forgot to turn the oven off. Basically it's goosed, but also I'll tell you, I made it too tight. I think it's just too tight. You'd never get it in and out once it's stitched, so you'll learn by your mistakes. So turn the oven off and just put it in when it's about 100 degrees, and then every 5 minutes whip it out and then just rub round again, and then you'll end up with like that. Now once it's all nice and moulded, and I've left it in the oven for probably about an hour, bringing it out every 10 minutes and then moulding round again, and then, but don't have the oven on, lads. I made that mistake. Just warm it up and then put the leather in, and then after that you'll end up with that. Obviously that was square and stapled down. So once it's all dry, we pull it off the wood where it's been stapled, and then I just freehand just guided that round, and we trimmed it off. So this is where we're up to at the moment. Then I'll just show you some of the tools I bought. That's a stitch groover, what we call, and you can set the length there, and that puts a nice neat line. Well, for a bit of cosmetics, I've just put a stitch grooving line round, up the sides of them and down, and then across there, and then here's the actual stitch line, down and around. Then, so to set that line, I've got a pair of dividers. These are just out of my toolbox from when I was engineering. So that's how I set the length. So I just put a faint line round, and I set the length from there to there. Then you run the stitch groover. Down. I've done it twice to get a nice deep bed. Then stitch wheel. I knew I was going to start there, and you just follow it round. That puts a nice bed of stitching marks. See that very well. That puts a nice bed of stitching marks on. So the next stage for this is to dye the leather, and after we've dyed it, we'll be forming the belt loop and sewing the belt loop on, and we'll then sew the seam. Now the dye I'm going to use is a Fibins dark brown oil dye. Now there's a YouTube channel on leatherwork by a guy called Satan's Barber. Now I've learnt my leatherwork off him, and he's absolutely bob on. The bee's knees. He's really taught me, well, everything I've learnt through him, really. I've gone nowhere else. He's superb. Check his channel out. It's called Satan's Barber, He must be good, because Ray Mears knife, the Woodlaw, Alan Woodlaw, who makes them, has commissioned Satan's barber to make the sheaths for the instructors that teach people on for the Ray Mears bushcraft. So he's got to be good. So anyway, check his channel out and you'll learn everything. Now he recommends you using the oil based dyes. He said don't bother with the water based, so on his recommendation that's what I'm doing. So we're gonna stain it dark brown, and I'm gonna stitch it yellow. I think the contrast will look nice. So this is 18 to 8 or something. I don't know if you can see that. You can't see it. 1 minute. Sorry about that. Yeah, so this is the stitching that I'm going to use, and I'm going to pull a bit off and then I'm going to run it through the beeswax. So what you do is you cut your desired length, and then you just pull it through the beeswax. I think it just waterproofs your stitching and makes it a touch more durable. You can buy some threads already waxed, but as I say, I couldn't find the yellow already waxed for some reason, so I went and got the yellow one. I think the brown and the yellow look nice. So tools I've bought awl, whatever they're called, just punches holes, stitch groover, and as I say, that's adjustable, so you can set your stitching, and a stitching wheel. This is a kit one. You can change. This is 5 to the inch, and in the kit it has a 6 to the inch and a 7 to the inch. So if you want smaller stitching, you just change this wheel. I'll say they're a pair of small dividers. I've had them for ages. So we've got the leather die and the twine, and this is what they call a wool dauber, and obviously in the die and on your sheath. So what I'll do, I'll show you my process of dyeing, and then I'll take you right through to building up the Laplander sheath. Now this is made right-handed, obviously for me, for right hand, but just turn the template around that you make and you've got a left-handed. Okay then, so I'll take you through the dyeing process. See you in a bit. Okay, what you can hear me. Right, so got our sheath, put a black bag down on the thinger, don't want the missus moaning again. Got our wool dauber, and we've got our dye. Give it a good shake. I'll have to buy some of them surgical gloves, but for now Good old shopping bag will do. I'm going to do the edges first. So this first coat's going to be patchy and everything, don't worry about it. Around the edges first. Now where you've done your wet moulding, it'll look a bit lighter. Don't worry about it. You won't see in there, but I'll just get a little bit in. Right, so that's literally the first coat. So I'll leave that to dry, and then we'll be back to do another coat. And I'll put this second coat on. I think we'll stand up. I think I'll use this as a stand now, this the one I baked to death. So there's the second coat. So we'll let that dry. I think one more coat should do it. Well, that even might do it. Come back in a bit when it's dry. Okay lads, that's the dyeing finish, and perfectly be honest, it looks more like black, but that's with 2 coats. I didn't go any further, but we'll see. We're going to buff it up now. Just have a brew. Put out the camera shot. I'm going to buff it up with some leather treatment and this says Canarba cream. If I've said it wrong, I do apologise. But as I say, Satan's Barber recommends this is the first stage after the dyeing, the first stage you put on. So we'll do that and give it a whirl. So we'll do the front side. And it says put it on quite liberally, or libri, and whatever. That's a little bit. She'll go mad, it's her furniture polish. You know, the rags. Better get to the pound shop, lads. Oh yeah, here's a dark brown now. So let's that dry, and then we'll buff that up. And after that, I've got Resolene, and it says on here, makes it a bit waterproof, this one. So we'll put that on after we've done this stage. So we'll just let that dry. Away we go. Can't wait to get out, lads. Can't wait. Planning to get over with Foxy and Sandy soon, over at Foxy's place. That should be a good do. I'm gonna make a special knife sheath for my mate Sandy. What I want him to do is send me his knife up, his personal knife, and I want to make him a nice leather sheath. That's if he wants one. As I say, I've ordered another knife off him. I've got two knives now, and the scales on it were donated to me by a good friend of mine, Jedi of the Night. And I sent those scales to Sandy, and he's going to make me, well, he is making me a knife with the walnut scales on that Jedi sent me, so be looking forward to that, and I'm going to make a nice personal sheath for that. I find it very relaxing, this. It's very nice, good hobby. I think I might take it up. So that not far dry. Give that a good buff now, lads. So the sun's coming out good. Rightio, so that's the Canarba cream rubbed in, and now we're going to give it a treatment of Vaseline. Oh, in the sun, yeah, you can see it's dark brown. So that's with the Vaseline and the Canarba cream on. Okay everyone, so I had to stop. I've had to just photograph a wedding. So I've done the stitching in the yellow, and I glue this edge, and the glue I'm going to use is Time Bond by Evo Stick. One edge. There's the other edge. Now you're supposed to leave this to go virtually set before you put that peg in there. Keep them open, so I'll come back when it's ready for gluing, mate. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes now. So what I've done, put an hole through there. Put a dowel hole there. So what I'll do now is I'll dowel all the other holes. Okay, I'm just showing you the saddle stitch. So I started there and I've done a little double stitch and we're carrying on. And then we'll go to the end there and then I'll double stitch back. So I'll just show you how I do that. So you have 2 needles and you basically that goes that way and then through the same hole as that thread come out, and then pull them tight. Then the one that come through that hole, through there, and then that one. Through there. Man, I'll just zoom in a bit while you see it, see if you can see it. A minute. So the one this side goes through that hole. Pull it tight. That comes out the way. And the one that's through that hole goes back through the hole. Pull tight. Then through the hole. And through that hole that's come through. Pull tight. Then you'll get nice neat stitching through the hole. That side. Through the hole. this side, pull tight. And just carry on like that, lads. And do that all.
Hi Lydia, how are we doing?
Okay, I'll come back to you when we're finished off. Right, I'll show you this end bit. So we're coming up to the last stitch now, and I'll just show you how we finish off. So that one through there. So that one through there, that one through there. So now I'm going to come back. Then that through there. So what it's done, it's double stitch there. So I'm just going to come down there. And I'll come one more. One more. And then we'll finish off. And that's what we're going to do, is trim that and then push it back through. That little bit there, we just and then just with the needle so Here we are, a finished article. See, stitching nice and neat. Finishing off there with the two. Just going to burnish this end now. So, a wet rag. You got him. See ya. Okay. Okay, lads. Peeing down again. So that's the sturdy. That's a Laplander sheath. Might be my eyes, but it looked black to me, that dye. Oh, very, very dark now. So, there you go. That attaches belt wise. 1 3/4 belt I've done it for. And wet moulded. Stitching. both sides. See that? Well, there's a dye, lads. Just say dark brown, but that is looks black, but probably is dark brown. Alright then, bye. See you now.